Back at Rainbow for another session, and it's November now, and for a change we're around in swims 1 and 2. It's probably the biggest area of open water on the lake. There's not so much, well, there is bars here, but they're quite deep. Most of the water's more deep and more open than the rest of the lake, so this time of year it's normally a decent area of the lake. Some of the big ones come from here, and there's normally a few fish to be found hiding away somewhere out there, so going to see if we can find the right spots, get the bait out there, see if we can catch a few. Not a monster by Rainbow standards, but a good start anyway. 49.5, first morning on the lake. We're in 1 and 2 this time, and it was the first time I've tested out a new bait here on the tandoori garlic, and I put about 4 kilos out last night. I guessed it might be a good bait here, and it's still early days yet, but you know, they certainly got through a bit last night, and this one was, you know, like, say first thing this morning, the bait had been out about 12 hours I suppose, so they munched through a fair old bit, and there's a lot of fish showing out there, so I think there'll be a few more. But anyway, yeah, nice start. Well, second one of the first day, 47.25 mirror, and on the little scope, on the 9-foot 4.5 and the BP 10 reel. Brilliant bits of kit, these little scopes. I love using them, and perfect for playing fish from the boat. Typical, just as dinner's nearly ready, goes and gets a run. Bit of afternoon action in swim 1 for Hilsoni. There we go. Could be a big one, this one. Come back to you when we've got it in.
There we go. Been confined to me bivvy for the last 3 days with a bit of food poisoning. Obviously the French food doesn't agree with me. So it was very, very pleasing to have a run this morning. I had my second fish of the trip. As you can see, it's not the biggest of rainbow carp, but very welcomed nonetheless. Nice long looking mirror, dark, beautiful, great stuff. I'll get him back now and hopefully get some more.
It's on top, isn't it?
You got another, your other one's going. Your other one's off. Alright, we'll just zoom over to Joan in action. There we go. This is Nash at its best. Team Briggsy giving it some stick on Rainbow. Joan.
Well, it was a bit of a performance, a mad half hour, but we ended up with both fish on the bank anyway. I was just playing this one, which I'll show you in a sec, which turned out to be 57.5 pound, and cracking mirror. And the other one, which went off while I was playing it, was 24 pound, which Joe managed to land. Which we got in a bit of a tangle out there, but thankfully we ended up with both fish on the bank anyway. So we put the 24 back, but I'll just show you this one because it is an absolutely lovely fish. Typical Rainbow, big chunky mirror, hard fighting, hell of a scrap out there. But that's what we come here for. That's what Rainbow's all about. Big mirrors like this. And there's plenty more out there, I think. Just building the swim up nicely. Again, it was over a load of bait, about 4 kilos of mixture of the TG and coconut cream. But they're munching it all. You know, I had one on this rod earlier, nice common, and now this one, so it ain't been out there long. so they're definitely on the munch. They want a bit of the bait, so I better get this one back and get a bit more out there. Right, there's been a few people say to me that they actually want to see how I drop a bait and what I'm actually doing when I drop a bait. So literally just had a fish on this rod, so I'm putting it back out. So I'll go through what I'm doing. Right, I'm fishing a hump here that's just, well, 14 foot, yeah, just touching 14 foot at its peak. And that's where I'm fishing, about 14.2, 14.1 if I can find it. There's the rig, big lead, quite a long combi link hook length, double TG hook bait, and the bottle rig. That's an Avid bottle, which not bad, pretty good. So I'll just get that up to about 14.2 if I can, and that's what I'm looking for. There we go, 14.3, 14.2. That's about perfect there. So I'm going to drop it there. So right, rig's nice and straight, throw backwards, so that just drops down to the bottom. It's hit bottom now, and then all I do, lift to make sure it's on the firm bottom, and that, yeah, that's nice there actually. Okay, so the rig's in place. Right, now for the bait. Now in here, it says there's a fair old bit of bait in here. There's pellets, MP mix and coconut cream, about 1 kilo of each, and I add to that 1 kilo of the TG, so that's all going in there, and that is all going out round this hook bait. Now it might seem a lot of bait, and I suppose it is a fair bit. It certainly seems a lot when you're throwing it out. Get some funny looks. But everywhere I've been, I keep saying it, but everywhere I've been putting a lot of bait out, and it's been working, so I carried on doing it. But again, I've turned up here at Rainbow. It's fishing a bit slow, but I've been putting loads of bait out, and had plenty of action. Well, I had 10 fish now, up to 57, so like I say, it looks a whole lot of bait when this is going out, but some of these rods ain't been out very long before they're going off, so these fish are coming in and having a right old munch on this. A lot goes round the actual bottle. I use the bottle as a marker because that's coming up straight off the rig. Don't want it all right on top of the hook bait, obviously, so I do a little line around of just spreading them out. So there's loads of bait, literally all around the area. It's, you know, so they can come in and have a munch, and the hook bait's not right next to them. Like I say, it looks like a shed load of bait, and it is a fair old bit, but they get through it in no time at all, these fish. They really do. There we go, that's all the boiling pellet. Just a few that dropped in the boat, and then one more thing to do is the hemp there. And literally what I do with that, tighten up to the bottle and make sure I'm right on top of the rig. There we go. And then a load of hemp right on top of the hook bait. And there we go. Now, like I say, you know, that it's a lot of bait no matter what way you look at it, and people talk about putting 3-4 kilos of bait out, and it don't sound much until you actually get it in your hands and put it out yourself. But that's plenty of bait, but it's catching the fish, that's the main thing, it's working. Now all I do, go back to the bank in a straight line, feather in the line, and tighten up when I get back. And there we are, the bottle rig in position, ready for action. Well, it was hectic from about midnight onwards. I'll take it up past 12 on a close rod that I moved yesterday. That was one of the sturgeon. My first one out of here in 10 years, 34 pounds something. Put him back, and about half hour later had a 41 mirror. And then just now, at 8 o'clock, the other rod's gone off. The only one that never went off was what has been the banker rod, but the other 3 went off, and the last one was this one, which was just over 50 pound, 50 and a quarter. And Gary had one as well, so it's been a hectic night. But fish are out there jumping all the time now, jumping all through the night, so there's plenty in the swim, and they're eating well, so you know, there's going to be more, I think, and we've just got hope for one of those big lumps in amongst them, but it's going well anyway, that's the main thing. It's getting late, it's a bit dark, but just about to see this hopefully. Just had this cracker anyway, 53 pound. Got a nice end of the day, 47.12. Nice chunky mirror, hard fighting mirror, off a plateau over there, 15 foot. Well, it's Monday morning, and nice comment to start the day off, 45 pound. You just never know. You never know when it's going to go. And there we go, 42 pound, a big fat mirror carp. And well, it seems to be a whole bunch of fish around the 20 kilo mark out there at the moment, a whole group of them. And here's another one, 44 pound mirror. Well, I don't know how many 40s we got in the swim, but here's another one, 44.5 pound, and there must be loads of them out there. It seems like we're on a shoal of mid-40s, commons and mirrors, and not getting the monsters, but we're sure getting the action. It's early morning, just getting light now. Just had one actually, 44.5 mirror, another nice 40. There's a lot of activity out there this morning. Don't know if you can see any of this, it's too dark, but fish showing all over the place out there. Slow day yesterday, not much happened. We had quite a strong wind blowing from behind us, and it weren't cold, but the fish didn't seem to like it where it was. Another one just showed there. But we've had quite a bit of rain this morning, very mild morning, but literally fish showing around all of the baits out there, so it's almost a matter of which one goes first, I think, or next. Well, nearing the end of the session, but Gary's just got his best one of the trip so far. Still time yet, but this one's just over £50. Absolutely lovely common, and the best of many fish this trip. Great fish, that one. Well done, that man.
Cheers.
Well, it's Friday morning now, last full day of the trip. We're off in the morning, so don't know if this is going to be the last fish, but there's plenty showing out there again. But this, yet another 44.5 pound cracking fish, and might not be the last, but if it is, it's a nice way to finish anyway. It's been a great trip. We've had over 40 fish now, most of them like this, 40 pounders really. But there's been others around the lake, bigger fish, but we've had stacks of action, and it's another great trip. So love fishing this place, and well, won't be too long before I'm back again, but there we go. See you next time.